Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Staley Varsity basketball night. My name is Andrew Scott, and with me tonight is...
I'm Cooper Hunter, and welcome to Staley basketball.
We've got quite the matchup for you tonight. It's the Falcons versus the Blue Jays, the Liberty Blue Jays. We're starting a little late here. Staley's up 2-0 after getting the opening tip-off, and we've got 7 minutes and 10 seconds left as they've got the ball back. Jacoby Hicks had a nice layup to start off the game. Gets it to Xavier Wilson in the corner, who drives hard to the rack. He's going to give it back to Jacoby, who lets it fly from the corner. It's going to be just long, but it's going to be rebounded by Xavier Wilson, who puts it back up for the layup.
This new thing, Xavier Wilson, the big 6'7" forward, right in there in the corner. As soon as he drives to the basket, he has more attention on him, leaving another shooter open in the corner.
Trey Moore picks up a foul as Liberty tries to pass in. Liberty now moving the ball. Number one takes a long three, and it's going to go down easy. That was Cal Mortimer. Number one on the three for Liberty. Brings the lead to 4-3 for Staley. As the ball is given to Jackson Smith. Loses it a little bit, but Xavier Wilson picks it up. Give it to number two, Jacoby Hicks, who gets it back to Xavier Wilson at the three-point line. Number 21, Travion Moore, takes a three, and it's going to be in and out of the rim.
We see that man-to-man zone scheme. Zone in the paint and man on the perimeter by Liberty. They're looking to protect that paint at all costs and want anything going inside tonight.
Number two from Liberty has a bit of a long three there, but it's going to be rebounded, given to number 14, Blaze, and he is not going to be able to get it back as Kennison Stone will get the rebound and give Staley another possession. Ball's given to Jackson Smith and given back to Trey Moore. Lets it fly on a little jumper. It's going to be off the rim, and Liberty is going to get the rebound. Pushing the pace now. Here comes number two. He is going to be pushed out of bounds by Xavier Wilson, giving the ball back to the Falcons.
And now just a little preview for this game tonight. One thing the Falcons do have is height. Averaging just close to about 6'4", 6'3". These guys are tall and physical, and they're going to do whatever they can to shoot over these guys and put the ball in the net.
Avion Webb now subbed in as he gets the ball to Xavier Wilson near the free throw line. Passes it back out to Kennison Stone, who gets it to Webb, who gets it to Smith. Ends up in Xavier Wilson's hand, and it's given back to Stone. He tries to find a way through defenders, and he's going to get it. Kennison Stone fights hard for the point, puts Staley up 6-3 as Liberty takes a timeout.
And there we had it right there. Kennison Stone, the 6'4" kid, bullying his way inside, shooting over a defender, and making it happen. Highly contested shot, and it pays out.
Staley, as per usual, playing physical, playing fast-paced, moving the ball very well. Those are some keys to success here tonight.
And tell me, what do you think we'll see tonight? Do you think we'll see a shootout, or do you think we'll see a slow, more defensive-paced game?
Well, I will admit, we've seen only a couple points so far, and we're about 2.5 minutes into the game. And it's been pretty defensive so far. Liberty's going to see what they can do here with possession as Cal Mortimer, number one for Liberty, takes the ball. Gives it to number two. Liberty trying to find a way to the basket. Number 10 fights hard to the rim, and he's going to lose the ball off the rim. Rebounded by Trey Moore. Finds a nice bounce pass to Stone. Gives it to Wilson, who tries to find a gap through the defense, but it's going to be stolen by Liberty as Webb steals it, and it bounces out of bounds away from number two on the Jays.
The Blue Jays bring two into the paint again. That's nothing new. They've been doing that all season. They're running it inside. They're trying to prevent anything inside the paint and around the perimeter.
Number 2 now trying to fight a way forward. Beautiful pass, but he's unable to get the basket back up. It's going to be a foul on Jackson Smith, his first on the night.
Now, it may have been a foul call on the play, but that was a wasted possession by the Blue Jays. Perfect pass from almost outside of the sideline. Just wasn't able to finish at the rim. And the first one is missed.
Second one is drained.
Xavier Wilson with the pass in.
Davion Webb running point on this run down. Here we go. Xavier Wilson gets it to Stone. Finds Webb. Top of the key now. He finds his way near the near sideline, near baseline. That is going to be a foul on number 23 on the Blue Jays.
And as you can see here, then again, they're not trying to let anything inside. Their best bet is to probably set a screen around and just work in. And if they can't work into the paint, shoot from the perimeter.
Comes Trey Moore now. Gets it back to Xavier Wilson, who pump fakes the 3. Love to see how that would work. But he fights his way to the rim. Physicality on display for Xavier Wilson.
We're seeing more and more Xavier Wilson, the big forward on the perimeter. He does a good job there driving in, acting like he's going to shoot a 3.
Now we're going to see the tough Staley defense coached by Coach Neff. He's a big fan of fundamentals, making sure the defense slides their feet as the ball is knocked out of bounds by Staley. Jacoby Hicks comes in for Jackson Smith. But Neff making sure Staley does not get sloppy, and that's been one of their keys to success the whole time Neff has been their coach. Ball is passed to number 2, is unable to get the point, and it's going to be rebounded by Wilson, who gives it to Jacoby Hicks. In the corner now. That's going to be Trey Moore, and he's going to sink. The far corner 3. 11-4 is your score with 2 minutes left in the quarter. Liberty moving the ball well now. Fighting for a way through the defense, and they're going to find it. Absolutely beautiful move by Cal Mortimer.
And there we saw that man-to-man again. He penetrates inside, uses that Euro step, fakes the defender out. Liberty bucket.
I mean, that's great for Liberty if they can find a way through the Staley defense. Shot's going to be slightly too strong from Trey Moore. As Liberty pushes the pace, gets an easy bucket, and Neff is going to take a timeout after that. Bit of a 4-point swing there for Staley. For Liberty, gets the point differential back to within 3.
And the Staley defense, known for running man-to-man, they just didn't have enough inside. That was an easy pass, easy play, well executed. And now the Staley defense averaging 51 points allowed in games while scoring 60 of their own. They're going to play fast and they're going to play tenacious with their 2-1 record at home. However, Liberty has a 2-1 record away, so this is kind of like a clash of the Titans that we're seeing right here.
Liberty likes to be under that pressure, try to shock whatever home team they're playing against, and they've been successful this year. Staley, however, loves to have their home crowd behind them.
And speaking of the home crowd, tonight is ESPN night. Although we are not part of ESPN, we are still happy to bring you this broadcast tonight.
Would have loved to be on the floor, but Eagle Eye View is great. As Trey Moore gives it to Jacoby Hicks. Looks for Avion Webb deep in the paint, but it's going to pass it out to Smith, who gives it back to Moore, who gives it back to Webb. Moving the ball well now around the perimeter. Unable to find a way through the Jays defense now. Webb finds the ball, top of the key, but he's going to find a beautiful pass to number 22, Kennison Stone, the junior forward, 6'4".
And there we go again, ball moving on the perimeter. This is going to confuse that Liberty defense and force them to bring men outside, allowing that easy penetration zone for Kennison Stone to get inside and score 2.
It's going to be a bit of a defensive foul from Jackson Smith with 1 minute and 14 left in the quarter.
Jackson Smith, the sophomore, making his way into the starting 5 tonight at the forward position.
Cal on the pass in, gives it to number 10, who passes right back. And he's going to make a nice move, but it's going to be stolen by Stone. Cal fights for the ball, gets it back to the Jays. Number 30 now fighting forward against Xavier Wilson. That's a risky play. Did not quite pay off. He had put Wilson on the back step, but was unable to finish as Staley gets the rebound.
Xavier Wilson inside, acting like a tree, not allowing anything to go over him.
Stone moves that ball around right past the Jays defenders for an easy layup. 15-8 now as Cal brings the ball down the court. Gets it to number 20. Jays once again moving the ball around the perimeter as number 30 tries. Oh, it's going to be blocked by Xavier Wilson as he goes for the step back, but it's going to be gotten out to number 20.
And there's the theme of the night for Liberty. Finding open men on the perimeter and letting them shoot. They're going to have bombs away in this first half.
Staley's going to make a last-second bucket of their own, keeping the score 17-11 as Avian Webb gets that last-second bucket.
And as we end off the quarter, your leading scorers for the Falcons are Kennison Stone, number 22, the 6'4" forward. He has 6 on the night. And Xavier Wilson, number 35, the 6'7" forward as well, who has 4 of his own.
For Liberty, you have Cal Mortimer, who's got 5 on the night. Successful for them so far. They're staying with Staley and getting some nice moves on the Staley defense, but how long will that last before Staley picks up on that and shifts the defense to counter? Liberty, though, has done a pretty good job at forcing Staley to take some tough shots, which they have made. Staley is a three-point shooting team, but if they could keep forcing the tough threes, I mean, you can only keep draining threes for so long, even with a team as talented as the Falcons, with all the amazing shooters they have.
And one theme for the Falcons, moving the ball. The first few shot attempts you can see, taking contested shots, that hasn't panned out. Adjustments were made, started moving the ball around the perimeter and looking for passes inside and scoring off the assist.
Cooper now inbounds the ball for the Blue Jays. Directing traffic now as they try to find a way through the Staley defense. Cooper gets the ball back at the top of the key, but number 2 is going to lose it, and it's going to be picked up by Stone. All the way to the rack, and he's going to drain it. Bring it down hard on the glass for a dunk. Staley's first points of the second quarter.
And it doesn't get much better than that right there. Kennison Stone picking up and slamming it down.
And a second block on the night for Xavier Wilson as he absolutely gets that ball out of there. Alley-oop from Webb to Stone is unsuccessful, but Staley does get the rebound up, does allow Liberty to reset their defense. Bit of a heat check. Oh, Webb's not going to be able to find Wilson, and it's going to be
and that attempted alley-oop turning into a turnover.
I don't think Neff's going to be happy about that one. Liberty, though, takes a contested 3. Rebounded by number 14. He's going to be called on the travel as he jumps up high for the ball, comes down with it.
And trying to pick the ball up over 3 guys. That's a pretty hard feat in basketball. He takes a big tumble. Falcons will get the ball, though.
14's first minutes of the night. He's already proving himself to be match Staley's physicality, which is what Liberty needs to do. Wilson now with the ball in the far baseline. Wilson, though, finds himself in trouble, and it's going to be stolen by number 10, who gives it to number 2. He's going to be fouled on the way up by number 1. His first time in the game, Tyven Willard.
And this Liberty defense showing 2-on-1, as you can see there. One man protecting the paint, preventing anything from driving him into the paint, and one man trying to strip the ball. That's perfect execution and very, very textbook steal.
It's going to be off. A little bit strong on the free throw there. Off the rim as the first free throw. Sinks the second one. Webb now. Down the court he goes, gives it to number 2, Jacoby Hicks. Wilson tries to find Jackson deep in the paint, and he's going to fight his way through his defender for a nice layup. Kyle Mortimer now back on the court. Liberty's prime scorer for the night so far. Finds himself in trouble as he has to hand the ball off to number 10, who gets hit out of bounds. Tries to find number 2, but it's going to be stolen by Jacoby Hicks, who gives it to Avian Webb in the corner. That looked like a good shot from him. It's going to be off the rim as Kyle Mortimer kind of pump fakes one. He's going to draw the foul from Tyven Willard, but does appear to be, it is going to be on Kyle Mortimer himself, I think, for double dribbling.
And a little bit of verbal non-appreciation for the officials coming from that Liberty sideline.
Wanted to see the defensive foul, but looks like the refs saw the offensive foul before it. Whistle's blown here as Jackson Smith gets his second personal on the night.
The sophomore already with foul trouble in the second half. We'll have to clean up.
Xavier Wilson hands the ball off to Webb. Back to Jackson Smith at the top of the key. Hands it to Jacoby Hicks. Back to Wilson. Deep in the paint once again. It's going to be a pass from Wilson to Smith, Jackson Smith, who draws the foul from Liberty.
And Neff right there switching it up. Now you can see we have seen Xavier Wilson on the perimeter. We've seen Jackson Smith on the perimeter. There they switch it up, putting Smith in the paint and Wilson on perimeter. We're going to see them switch out a lot tonight, trying to confuse their man-to-man coverage.
Here comes Webb inbounding the ball. Gives it to Trey Moore. Ball's back to Webb, and Wilson finds it again. Looking for an open man, but he's going to give it to Tyven Willard. Hands it right back to him. Far pass across the court to Webb as he gives it back to Wilson. He is going to be knocked out of bounds by number 14. And it's going to be Liberty ball.
Xavier Wilson already close to that basket, trying to find anything he can. All shooting lanes were blocked off. He had no choice but to take it out into the sideline.
Here comes Cal Mortimer for Liberty. Being double teamed now as he gets it to number 14. Passes to 12 as the Jays weave in and out of the Staley defense now. He's going to draw the foul on Tyven Willard before he can get the shot up. Stone and Hicks coming in for Willard and Smith on the Staley side. Inbound here as Mortimer ends up with the ball. One-on-one with Stone. Trying to fight through defenders. 14 finds himself in trouble. Cal with a long shot, contested three. He's going to drain it. It's exactly what Liberty needed to get back in this game. And Staley's going to step out of bounds. Tough break for them on those last two possessions. Liberty drains a very contested three. Mortimer's going to get grabbed by Stone again. It's going to be a foul on Stone. He just had a bit of a rough streak. He's got to reset here.
And now this is the point in the half. They got to keep their cool. They got to remember their assignments and just watch the ball. Don't get distracted on any movement, but just keep on watching the ball.
Mortimer with a bit of a heat check. That one's going to be long. Rebounded. Oh, but fighting for the ball is number 2 on Liberty. Trying to get it away from Hicks. It will be a foul drawn on him, however. 4 minutes left in the first half.
The Blue Jays are playing rough for that basketball, and they are looking to outscore them. Even if they don't end up on the scoreboard winning, they're going to look to outpace them and hopefully carry that momentum to the second half.
Hicks now gets it to Webb at the top of the key, who lines it up for a tough three there, and it's going to be off the rim.
Avion Webb's last 2 3 attempts unsuccessful.
Here the Blue Jays come, though. Wilson's going to find himself with a foul there on number 30 of the Jays.
Now, obviously, in this game, Liberty has been the better three-point shooting team. So far, they haven't scored much inside, which being the opposite for Staley, only making 1 3 of their own.
Long bomb from Mortimer as he finds it back himself. 23 is going to try to get it back towards the perimeter, and it's going to be deflected by Webb and out of bounds. Timeout, Liberty. With 3 minutes and 25 seconds left. Close game here tonight. 21-15 is your score. Staley in the lead.
And here the timeout. They're making adjustments right now. I don't know if we're at that point in the half where they'll change up their defensive scheme. They might save that for the locker room at halftime. But right now, they're playing tough, hard-nosed defense, man-to-man, do whatever they can to strip the ball. So far, we've seen a couple steals and a couple blocks. That is their basis. That is the defense that they run. And so far, they're executing well, only letting 15 on the scoreboard while letting their offense score on their own. This is a high-paced basketball game for both ends right now.
Seems that almost as the game goes on, the teams get tougher and more physical. It's great to see in both teams. Cal now finds himself looking for some open men, moving. Liberty's moving around as he's going to fight hard to the rim. Deflected by Kennison Stone. Here comes Jacoby Hicks fighting hard. It's going to be off the rim, but it's going to be put right back in by Xavier Wilson. Gets both that offensive rebound and the bucket.
And that'll be an unintentional assist.
Now that pass is going to be gotten by Webb as Jacoby Hicks misses the dunk, but it's going to be put back by Kennison Stone. Hicks a little bit upset about it. He wanted that highlight. Three is up from 20, but
and boy, what that dunk would have been a highlight reel play right there, but just not quite high enough.
Stone is going to foul number 20 on his three. Cooper spurts. Shoots three. First one goes down easy. Second one down as well. Putting that Staley crowd in the back of his mind and focusing right on that shot.
I'll tell you what, if you talk to a basketball player, they're going to tell you crowd noise is a big factor in shooting.
but all three go down nonetheless. As we have Avion Webb making some moves. Absolutely fantastic display as Webb weaves his way through his defender for a beautiful layup. That's going to be off Webb's foot, out of bounds on Staley.
And bring back to that last play for Avion Webb. Tremendous ball speed, weaving in and out, and scoring from the perimeter. That's what they're going to do, and that's what they're going to keep going to do, is trying to find those open lanes and use their speed, which they do have, and to score from afar.
And that one's going to be deflected by Xavier Wilson. Stays with the Jays, but Liberty's finding a tough time here through the Staley defense. The biggest thing right now is they're just getting out physical, which you play against Staley, you gotta match it, or else the score can get away from you really quick, and the momentum can just die down real quick. But the ball is gonna be inbounded. Cal's gonna take a three, contested by Jacoby Hicks. He's gonna drain another one,
and he ends that scoring drought for Liberty. Now they're going to focus that momentum on just keeping the chains moving.
Trey Moore is going to draw the defensive foul on Cal Mortimer, who is already at double-digit points with 2 threes on the night, if I'm correct. Both very contested by Staley. Shot's going to bounce off the front of the rim into the hoop for Trey Moore. Second one is up and swishes through the rack. 29-21 now. Staley up by 8.
And here we are. We're ending those empty possessions for both sides. Both teams are scoring. This is a high-paced, point-scoring first half that we're seeing. Second half, we're going to see a whole lot of adjustments made in the locker room to try and clamp down on both defenses.
Ball is going to be deflected by Staley, once again out of bounds. Now Mortimer takes the ball, gives it to Cooper. Long three. It's going to be off the front of the rim, rebounded by Avion Webb. Trey Moore now with an open look, just a little bit off target as Liberty finds the rebound, pushing the pace real hard now. Scallan's up with the ball. It's another long three, just in and out of the hoop. Up and down the court, these two sides go. Webb deflected by number 23. He's going to get his own rebound, though. Webb trying to find a way through. Number 1, Tyven Willard. Open look, misses it. 1 minute now left. Both teams now with 2 empty possessions in a row. Cal fights hard once again. He's going to get the ball deflected by Xavier Wilson, who has so many deflections by this point in the game. It's been great defense by him, but Liberty does get the ball back.
And bringing back to the height factor in both these games. Now these guys have long wingspans, and when they get their arms up, getting a shot over these guys is not easy. We've seen blocks and we've seen steals all game long.
Hudson's lays on a Torrey. Was fouled by Webb. As Webb is taken up. Aiden Bird now, 6'3" junior, comes in for Webb. Don't want to up his foul number as both shots are taken down by Blaze. 29-23. Staley with what could be its last possession of the half, looking to make the most of it. Widen their lead. Trayvon Moore finds open in Aiden Bird. The Blue Jays defense is tightening. Xavier Wilson. It's going to be hard to stop that guy, but he finds Trey Moore. An open route to the basket.
Now that Liberty defense keeping one in the paint and one on man, that's going to allow them to bring a guy down just in case they need. As you can see, the Falcons have been driving to the paint, and Liberty's trying to prevent that by keeping two in the zone just instead of one-on-one defenses.
13.5 seconds left in the half as the ball is once again deflected out of bounds by Staley as Liberty inbounds it. 30 finds himself with the ball. Before it's given to number 14. Finder of the rim, he's going to get double teamed. 23 with a bit of a long two here. It's going to bounce off the rim into the basket in the last remaining seconds of the game. Oh. Late half-court shot from Staley. Even if it would have been made, wouldn't have gone down, but was very close to going in. That's the end of the first half. 31-25 is your score. Liberty keeps it close. It's been a great game to watch so far.
And your Staley Falcons leading scorers, Kennison Stone with 10 of his own on the night, Travion Moore with 7, and Xavier Wilson with 6.
And for the Blue Jays, of course, you have Cal Mortimer. Had those two very well contested threes, but an amazing shot from him. Both of them were very long. And he's got 11 on the night. Here come your Staley Emeralds. Stick around.
And
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of this event. Both teams, I'm sure, had a long discussion on how they can execute their strategies better. But Cal finds an open man in the paint. That's going to be Chase, number 2 on Liberty. Easy bucket there.
And Liberty trying not to make the mistake of missing those close shots. That's going to be their key to this game.
Jackson Smith goes up high for it, and he is just going to out-height the Liberty defenders there. Not much they could have done about that. He had the vertical there to go up and get that ball and fight through the defenders for a layup. Chase loses the ball. Xavier Wilson lets it fly to Stone, though. And that will be a steal for Wilson. Ball's coming back to him before Stone steps out of bounds. And Coach Neff lets him have it.
And there we had Kennison Stone. He had 2-on-1. He was looking for somebody open to go up the middle. Just that bad read on the pass is going to result in a turnover.
Ball is inbounded by Chase. Gets the ball back to him. From Blaze. Cal. Now. Going around defenders as he takes his 3. It's going to be just off target. Liberty tries to get the rebound, but Travion Moore will end up with the ball, and he goes hard to the rack. He will be fouled by Blaze Onatori.
And Trey Moore trying to carry on that second half success. So far, with those 7 points, drained 1 3 of his own. The only 3 made by the Falcons. Their perimeter shooting has been cold as ice so far.
Shots up from Moore, and it's going to go good. Second shot is up. And it is good as well. That's going to be 2 points for Staley on that possession. Ball's given to Chase of the Blue Jays, and he's going to pass it cross court to Blaze. Onatori finds his man. Number 10 in the paint, gets it back out to Chase. Thinks about it for a second, but he's guarded by Xavier Wilson. Gets around him, though, and he gets a nice bucket. Could have possibly been fouled there.
So far in the second half, empty possessions have been rare. Both teams are finding ways to score. Obviously, the adjustments made at halftime have been working.
Xavier Wilson once again finds Jackson in the paint, deep under the rim. He's gonna draw the foul.
The sophomore dealing with 3 Blue Jays right under the rim. That is no shot that is going to be easy to make.
Jackson Smith now. First one's up and good. (36-29) now. Smith extends it to 37. Cal Mortimer looking for a way through. Finds number 14 open. It's going to be out on number 14 as he fights for the ball on the baseline. Giving Staley back the ball.
And we're continuing that theme of reaching inside, not making it easy for the defender to take the ball away. Both teams showing extreme handles on the ball. They're going to try to keep it, as every good basketball player should. And they're going to look to use that to their advantage, as Staley is going to try to strip the ball away. They do get that, and they're going to try to score on this next possession.
And I agree wholeheartedly with the PA guy. Barn burner indeed. This has been quite the matchup. Staley has always had a pretty extensive lead over the Blue Jays, but they've never the Liberty has never let the score get too far ahead of them. Always kept himself in the game so far.
Blue Jays keeping it close. They're not going to let the Falcons run away with this one.
As I say that, Webb is just a little bit off on his three. As number 14 fights for the rebound, it will be out on him, giving Staley back the ball. Webb so far a little chilly himself on his threes of the night. I don't know if I think he's 0 for 3. Here comes Trey Moore. Ends up in Jacoby's hands as he gives it to Xavier Wilson. And he's going to do what Xavier Wilson does best. But Chase from the Blue Jays will draw the offensive foul as Wilson tries to bully his way forward.
Xavier Wilson trying to overpower the defender. Got a little too much on that one, and they're going to draw the foul.
It's going to be his second on the night. Just needs to keep himself playing cleanly, and he'll be all right. Cal Mortimer gets off to number 30, who has to go up against Xavier Wilson. Will be off Travion Moore as 30 gets double teamed. Once again, there is pretty much almost every possession Liberty has had to inbound the ball after deflection from Staley. The very interesting defense so far as Chase tries to get it back to number 14, but Hicks is able to grab it, feeds it to Trey Moore.
And that was just a Magic Johnson style pass right past the defender. Nice bounce pass. That's going to be an easy assist.
Right through quite a few defenders. Was truly spectacular pass, and that's going to give him a nice assist on his stat sheet.
The Staley Falcons, their score will be 39-29. Staley established a 10-point lead so far, their largest of the night, as they're going to look to keep on growing on it and capitalize on turnovers and empty possessions from the Blue Jays, as they hope to do the same to the Falcons as well. And coming off that last shot, our new leading scorer is Travion Moore, the 5'11 senior. Travion Moore is finding ways to score that are not shooting those threes, which has not been going great for him so far. But he's finding ways to score off assists, which with his height, it is hard to score inside. But he's using his ball speed and ball handles to weave in and out of the defenders and make plays near the hoop.
So far for Liberty, their leading scorer, Cal Mortimer, has been quiet with no points this quarter. Liberty can get him started. They might have a solid chance to even out this game as Staley has extended the lead to 10. Finds himself in trouble, though, as he has to hand it off to Chase. Long pass, number 10. Finds number 30 in the corner. Great ball movement right now on this possession for the Jays. As I say that, it is going to be stolen. Deflected off of Kennison Stone. I believe, no, it was Avian Webb. Travion Moore, though. Number 21 will get another point, another layup added to his score. Bring the lead to 11. Wide pass there. It's going to be stolen by Webb again. Moore goes up, and that one is going to be not quite in. But Avian Webb fights for the rebound and fights for the basket. It is going to be out, but he will draw the foul.
And let's just talk about that Staley defense back over there. That is their second straight forced turnover. They are playing aggressive right there. They're not even allowing them to get even set up their plays. It's physical and tenacious basketball that the Falcons are playing right now.
It's real tough for Liberty. Pretty good ball movement. They're trying to find a way around defenders, but it's been no dice in this half.
So far, all Liberty could do is just watch the scoreboard slowly drift away as they are finding themselves in more and more empty possessions that the Falcons have been capitalizing on. That is something that I imagine they have not been talking about in the locker room at halftime. So they're going to need to look to fix it.
It's going to be another steal, this time from Travion Moore, but it's going to be stolen right back by Cal Mortimer. Finds the open man, number 20. It's going to be Cooper Spurts who drains the open three from the corner. That's what they needed. It is going to be off of Staley. They get a little bit lazy there. Find the steal. Cal Mortimer does not want to let that ball go to waste and does not want 3 steals in a row, 3 wasted possessions from Liberty in a row. So he prevents that, steals the ball right back, finds the open man, Cooper Spurts in the corner. Gets a little bit of momentum now for the Blue Jays. Enough to stop a shooter like Webb.
That'll be his first 3 of the game. The Falcons' second 3 of the game to make that.
It is his second. 55 hard will get the and one. That's what they needed there after Staley shut down their first attempt at a rally. That's going to be Smith's third on the night. And he's going to be subbed out for Tyven Willard. And Liberty looks for another 3-point possession in a row after almost 3 empty possessions in a row.
Liberty trying to draw shooting fouls so far in the second half as he knocks this one down.
That's momentum they need, though. Just start scoring points. See them to go down. Once you see a couple go down, you can get back in it. Webb makes a good move on Mortimer. Ball ends up in Willard's hands as he gives it to Wilson, where it's given to Moore, but it's back to Wilson, and he's just gotten a stone-paved path right to the rim, and he's going to take it for an easy bucket.
The senior's first points of the half come from that beautiful pass in clear lane inside.
Cal Mortimer, that's how he gets started on the half there. Takes a contested 3 from Travion Moore and drains it. Scores now 48-38 with a minute and about a half left in the third quarter as Wilson gets another assist to Kennison Stone.
Now, so far in this game, lead changes have not been common. Right now, we're seeing the Falcons start to take control of the game here in the second half.
I believe there has not been a lead change, and that Staley has been in control pretty much of the pace since the opening tip-off. That is going to be a defensive foul on Tyven Willard. And that's what we've seen so far. As we've watched some of these home games for Staley, they like to control the pace, have it at their own tempo, and kind of force other teams to go along with it, which keeps them in control of how the game moves. Liberty inbounds the ball here with a minute left in the quarter as Webb steals the ball from 23. It is going to be off of him. Off of the Jays, giving the ball back to Staley.
Avian Webb, steal after steal. This stat writer's hand has to be hurting.
Tyven Willard fights hard. He's going to find Travion Moore for the open 3. It's going to be just short. Bounces off the rim. 23 for Liberty now. Looking for some last second points. But it's going to be another deflection from Travion Moore.
It almost looked like Travion Moore wanted to go up to the stands there and say hi to his family. Making that great play, trying to get as much ball possession as they can.
Blaze Onitari takes the inbound, passing it to number 23. Here he goes, though, trying to take it himself. That's going to be a tough one. Did not expect quite the resistance that he was met with. As Staley now gets the ball, looking to put a stamp on this dominant third quarter with 13 seconds left. Kinnison Stone gets in the way. Travion Moore with a long one. That's going to be off the back of the rim. End of the third quarter. 50-38 is your score. Heading into the fourth.
And here we go. We are seeing high-paced basketball from the Staley Falcons. 50 points so far. And they're going for even more with 8 minutes left to go in this game. And so far, we're seeing a widespread scoring so far across the stat sheet. More and more players starting to get involved, whether that comes to assists, steals, or points. Your leading scorers are Travion Moore with 13, Kennison Stone with 12, and Xavier Wilson with 8.
It's been a tough break in this second half so far for Liberty. Game is getting away from them. They're going to have to figure out something here.
And one theme that we have been seeing from both teams, eliminating those flashy ball moves, in between the legs dribbles, around the backs, and more focus on primary ball movement. They're trying to get the ball around to everybody and making sure they can find an open look before driving to the lanes inside.
Staley with the inbound now. This is going to be interesting as we round out this fast-paced game here. The final stretch. Webb looking for the fine horn around the rim. Looks like Jacoby Hicks Jr. steps out of bounds after pump faking, looking to head into the rim. Comes out number 10. Finds himself trapped. He's able to find Chase. Back to 10 on the far baseline. Gives it to 14. Catches it before heading out of bounds. Once again back to 10. That one's going to be stolen as he tries to find Mortimer in the paint by Xavier Wilson. Gives it to Webb. Runs down the court for an easy 2 points. Not what Liberty wanted there to start off the fourth quarter. Hudson Sutton gives it to Cal. Chase with a long three. That one's going to be just off target. Not a great look. Avion Webb running point. Gets Xavier in the paint. It's going to be a foul on Sutton of the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays doing a fantastic job staying out of foul trouble so far in this half. And they will just disregard that one as Xavier Wilson lines up to shoot two.
Wilson's first one. In nice and pretty.
And the big man knocks him down.
That's going to bring the lead to 16. But he's going to need quite the rally here. But Avion Webb fights hard for the ball.
That was a firefight for the basketball right there. Both players on the ground. Originally knocked out by Avion Webb. He was looking to keep him pinned behind the half-court line and try to force anything, whether a pass or just to steal any kind of turnover he can get.
I mean, Staley is just not giving them a moment rest. it's just Liberty has been unable to move the ball well enough to get around this brick wall of a defense that has been unrelenting, really. Every possession, they fight hard for the ball, go for deflections, go for steals.
So far, a very, very rare occurrence for Liberty in the second half is an open look. The Falcons have been contesting shots, and that student section is getting loud. Little skirmish between the two student sections. And we will get back to basketball.
As the Staley student section gives us a bit of a... Both student sections giving their all to cheer for their teams here tonight. It's great to see such good spirit from both teams. Mortimer now taking the ball down the court. Staley just running hard defense, man-to-man, forcing Liberty to go up against their ball skills and put them to the test. Hudson Sutton now had a bit of a rough time getting that one in the paint, but he's going to find a pretty open three. It's going to be a little short, though, rebounded by Xavier Wilson. Here comes Avian Webb.
Xavier Wilson almost in the point guard position up top.
Oh, and it's going to be just out of the reach of Jackson Smith, picked up by Chase, who draws the foul on Stone, Guinnison Stone. That's going to be his.
Still looking for those steals.
Just refusing to let Liberty have a breath. I mean, you just got to beat them on every possession here. If you want to beat Staley. That is going to be the fourth foul on Guinnison Stone, as he's going to be drawn for another quick one there. He's at risk of being fouled out here. We're going to see what Neff does. Don't know if it matters too much, as there's 5.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Staley Falcons looking to close off their third win in a row.
That ball is going to be a nice floater from 23 of the Jays, bringing their score to 40. Bit of a lax full court press, just trying to keep Staley on their toes there, looking for a easy steal from the Blue Jays.
We're entering desperation time for Liberty Blue Jays. They're going to try to close anything off and make the score look less feasible.
Avion Webb right in the face. Now that might be the nail in the coffin there. As a very well contested shot, but Avian Webb just has the heat.
Avian Webb's got some barbecue cooking. That was a really, really nice three right there. I barely even saw the net move on that one.
I did not see that one coming, but Avian Webb knew what he was doing when he let that one fly from his fingertips.
Avian Webb's second three make of the night, as he's taking on the role of the three-point shooter in this Staley offense. Everybody trying to stay warm here. Falcons have a 17-point lead, their largest of the night. Their score is 57 Staley and 40 Liberty. And we will resume with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter.
Bit of an interesting decision by Neff. He's going to give his starters even more time here to close this game off.
I could imagine once they get to a 20-point lead, we might see those backups come in and get their reps.
Ball ends up in 23's hands. He's finding a way around. That's going to be Cal Mortimer with an open shot. And he's pretty much guaranteed to make those. You give him an open look. We've seen in this game, he can make those. Breath of life there from Liberty is going to be snuffed out just as quick as Jackson Smith fights through the defenders.
The sophomore getting up there.
Cal Mortimer with the contested three. That's going to be picked up by Hudson Sutton. It's going to be passed to Kyle Mortimer as he fights hard to the rim, and it's going to be a foul as he's going to go to the line.
Blue Jays trying to feed number 1, letting him shoot. He's been hot.
Mortimer knocks in the first one.
We'll see a substitution as Kennison Stone will replace Xavier Wilson.
Second shot's up and good. He is definitely the point leader of the night with 18. But has just not been able to get that consistent scoring from the whole team against this Staley defensive wall.
I think wall is the right term for that. If the wall could steal a basketball, that would be the Staley defense.
Avion Webb with another open three. That one's going to be just a bit long as it's going to be rebounded by Mortimer. Number 12, Blaze on Torrey, finding to the rim. Nice move there. He's unable to get the finish. That is going to be a foul on Webb.
And that was great looking Euro step right there. Getting up and around. That shot just wasn't able to make it in. Great move and great effort by number 12 of the Liberty Blue Jays.
Cooper spurts now. That's going to be a long one. Picked up by Chase. Just wanted to get it out of reach of the Staley defense. Chase fighting the rim. He finds a nice spot there. The underhook shot is not going to fall for them there. Avion Webb now in trouble, but he finds Jacoby Hicks on the far baseline. Ball is given right back to Hicks as he's looking to get around his defender, and he does. That's going to be a travel on Hicks.
And there we saw another open lane, just enough to squeeze in there and force a shot inside. That travel call closed it off, though, and it'll be Liberty ball.
Kyle Mortimer not letting the clock start till it gets about to half court. Chase now with the ball at the top of the key. Lets it fly long, too. It's going to go in and out of the rim. That's an unlucky one. You hate to see that. Webb is going to fight to the rim, doesn't draw the foul, and it's going to be rebounded by the Jays. Ball is given to 24 as he lets a three fly. It's going to be off target by a little bit. 21 gets his own rebound, but is unable to finish the shot. Two minutes and a quarter left in the second half. Travion Moore. He's going to draw the defensive foul on Mortimer.
And more substitutions for both teams.
Travion Moore now trying to find a way around his defender, number 15.
Great screen by Jackson Smith.
Tyven Willard gives it right back to Kennison Stone now. Trying to worm his way around. Defender finds himself in open space now. Just ticking the clock down to 0. Finish off a successful game for Staley.
And with no shot clock being in place in high school basketball, this one's going to be an easy one to just dribble out. These Liberty defenders are not making it easy, though. Press coverage, 2-on-2 we're seeing. They're trying to strip that ball off.
Kennison Stone tries to find a way to the rim. Does not get it. But this could probably be the describer of the night right here. This single possession. Pretty good defense by the Blue Jays, but the superb ball movement of Staley is just the deciding factor of the night. The defense, of course, has been amazing as well.
Their ability to keep possession has just been tremendous as well.
40 seconds now. The clock keeps ticking down. It's going to put the cap on the night, as we've got just half a minute left in the game. Bit of an anticlimactic finish, if I say so myself, but no, it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's been a great basketball game to watch. But the clock will run down, and that'll end the game. 59-45 is your final score. Staley, their third win in a streak, and that's going to be Liberty's second loss in a row. Tough night for them here at a home game for Staley.
And with this win, Staley will advance to the record of 9-4. Liberty dropping down to 7-4. Pardon me, 7-6. And what we just saw tonight is just great basketball from the Staley Falcons with their third win in a row. And we will see them play again next week against Father Tolton Regional Catholic.
We'll see y'all next time. This has been Andrew Scott.
And I'm Cooper Unruh, and thank you for tuning in.
Have a good night.